They're my targets now. These are. I want to get my rematch and put the wrong right.
He really is, and Daniel Dubois trying to force it back on the ropes.
So I believe it's going to be totally different. If the people thinking that's going to be the same thing, then they're in for a shock, a surprise, even their team. So, I'm
Daniel Dubois again calls out Oleksandr Usyk for rematch for the Trilogy. He's fuming, fired up, and desperate to rewrite the nightmare. But the truth is brutal. Usyk didn't get lucky. He exposed Dubois twice. All this talk about revenge sounds more like rage than reason. Dubois is angry, no doubt, but that anger won't close the gap in class, skill, or mentality. Usyk already owns his soul. On the other hand, Dubois isn't backing down. In fact, his next statement takes the heat up a notch.
You can get to him again, and what would you do differently next time?
Yeah, I wouldn't let him off the hook next time. He got away lucky last.
Dubois is fired up and itching for the Trilogy, but pure anger won't fix what went wrong. He's talking like a man chasing closure, not victory. Usyk already beat him twice, badly. And this talk of putting Usyk to sleep, that sounds more like frustration than a real threat.
Yeah, but it's in the past now. It's happened, I get a chance to put that wrong right and clear up the controversy, There's a lot of shit being talked about right now, but I can't wait to put him
Usyk isn't just brushing Dubois off, he's mocking him. This isn't about boxing anymore, it's raw dominance. The fact he's joking about a street fight shows how little he fears Dubois. While Dubois is chasing redemption, Usyk's already mentally levels above, calm, sarcastic, and completely unbothered by the noise. And just when it couldn't get worse for Dubois, a former world champion brutally calls out his entire mentality.
I'm ready one fight and tomorrow. And the rematch and the street.
Tony Bellew doesn't sugarcoat it. He exposes Dubois' core. One punch, then nothing. That's all he brought against Usyk. No fire, no comeback, just collapse. Bellew's words sting because they're true. When pressure hits, Dubois folds. And now he's shouting for a trilogy? It's delusion at best. But Usyk's brilliance didn't just break Dubois, it forced even experts to admit there's no one on his level.
Landed one decent body shot the whole fight, to which Usyk tapped his belly and just said, "What was that?" And then there was zero else coming back. And that's, in my opinion, that's the attitude and that's the mentality of a guy that when the going gets tough, he doesn't want to fight. And you can never change that.
Bellew nails it. Usyk's mastery goes beyond skill. He adapted everything, even slowed his movement just to dominate Dubois. That's genius-level boxing IQ. While Dubois threw excuses, Usyk made adjustments and executed with precision. It wasn't luck, it was calculated destruction. That's why he's untouched at the top.
He's going to beat him. I just think technically, physically now, he's at the weight and he's adapted and he's adjusted. I mean, he's even adjusted and adapted his weight for this fight individually. I mean, he put on how much weight and slowed his actual feet down because Daniel Dubois' feet were slow.
This is where reality finally hits Daniel Dubois. After all the noise, all the call-outs, all the claims of controversy, he admits it. Usyk was the better man, full stop. No one forced him to say it. The truth came out when the dust settled. He gave everything and it still wasn't enough. That's the difference between elite and exposure. Dubois tried, no doubt, but effort without execution means nothing when you're up against a machine like Usyk. What's more, this statement undermines all his trilogy demands. One minute he's shouting revenge, the next he's giving respect. It's emotional inconsistency. The burning question is, does Dubois truly believe he can beat Usyk, or is this just damage control? The reality is, Usyk didn't just win, he took something from Dubois that night. His confidence, even worse. Dubois looks torn between pride and acceptance, a fighter stuck in limbo. That raises the question, what does "I'll be back" even mean if the blueprint to beat you is already public? On the flip side, Usyk wasn't basking in glory. He was exhausted, drained, and yet still untouched.
I have to commend him on the performance. I gave everything I had. It just wasn't, probably a few things I could have sharpened up on, but take no credit away from the man.
This is the side of Oleksandr Usyk that fans often overlook: the sacrifice, the grind, the price of greatness. For 3.5 months, he locked himself in a war camp with no family, just preparation and pain. And what did he deliver? Total domination. That's exactly why the idea of Dubois demanding a trilogy feels laughable. Usyk gave everything behind the scenes to produce a performance that didn't just beat Dubois, it buried him. The truth is, Usyk's levels above physically, mentally, and spiritually. Not only that, he's earned the right to decide his next move without pressure. While Dubois throws tantrums on camera, Usyk talks like a soldier after war, calm, measured, and still in control. And here's the twist: even in rest, Usyk remains the most dangerous man in the division. Dubois might be calling him out, but Usyk's operating on a whole different timeline. The division waits for Usyk's word, not Dubois' desperation. To make matters worse for Dubois, even fellow heavyweights can see how completely Usyk picked him apart.
I said it before the fight, even today, before today, that Daniel Dubois would never pass 5 rounds if he kept boxing like the same way he boxed last time he fought Usyk. But he did the same. There was no jab, nothing changed. He deserved the knockout because he never changed something like.
Joseph Parker doesn't mince words. He saw it coming. The breakdown wasn't sudden, it was surgical. Usyk dismantled Dubois over time with patience, rhythm, and masterful technique. This wasn't a lucky punch or a one-off fluke. It was a systematic takedown. The most telling part is Parker's calm tone. He wasn't surprised because real boxing minds already knew Usyk was on a different level. Dubois may have landed a shot here or there, but it meant nothing in the long run. Moreover, Parker credits the fundamentals: feints, footwork, and timing, proving that Usyk's genius lies in the details. On the other hand, Dubois was relying on brute power and frustration, hoping something lands clean. It didn't. That's why Parker calls it how it is. Usyk broke him down piece by piece. The truth is, no amount of shouting about trilogies will change the fact that Dubois was taken apart like a puzzle. The blueprint is clear, the execution flawless. And as if that wasn't damning enough, another heavyweight steps in and completely dismisses Dubois' entire game plan.
I'm not stunned. I know that he broke him down, right? He broke him down. He was patient. Then Dubois did, for me, looked better. Like landed some good shots in the beginning. It was going back and forth, and he got Usyk's attention. But he was patient. Feints, movement, footwork. It all came.
Martin Bakole drops a brutal reality check. Dubois didn't just lose, he never evolved. From the moment the bell rang, it was deja vu. Same stance, same mistakes, no jab, no adjustments. That's exactly why Bakole says he deserved the knockout. And you know what? He's right. You can't walk into a trilogy fight with the same stale blueprint and expect different results. Dubois keeps banging on about revenge, but what's changed? Nothing. On the flip side, Usyk's resume speaks volumes. Undisputed at cruiserweight, dominant at heavyweight, and undefeated against every big name. The real issue is, Dubois is trying to force his way into elite company without proving he belongs. Bakole makes it crystal clear: if you don't evolve, you get erased. What's more, this wasn't hate, it was facts. Usyk did everything right, and Dubois offered nothing new. The result? Another clean dismantling. That's why any talk of a trilogy sounds like fiction.
I did before the fight, even today, before today, that Daniel Dubois would never pass 5 rounds if he kept boxing like the same way he boxed last time he fought Usyk. But he did the same. There was no jab, nothing changed. He deserved the knockout because he never changed something like supposed to.
Martin Bakole doesn't hold back, and why should he? What Usyk just did to Daniel Dubois wasn't boxing, it was domination. Calling him a machine is no exaggeration. This man has walked through the cruiserweight division, stepped into the land of giants, and still remains undefeated. While Dubois cries foul, Bakole gives credit where it's due. Usyk is simply better than anyone out there, mentally and physically. Even worse for Dubois, when fellow heavyweights are singing Usyk's praises, it signals that no one in the top tier truly fears him anymore. Dubois Dubois may scream trilogy, but the respect he once commanded? Gone. Meanwhile, Usyk continues to collect names and make legends out of those who try and fail to stop him. What's more, Bakole doesn't even mention Dubois in the same breath that silence says everything. Dubois wants to rewrite history with a trilogy, but reality is painting him further and further away from the top. That's exactly why fans are tuning out Dubois' demands and locking into Usyk's legacy instead. And if you thought the fighters were blunt, wait till you hear it from Dubois' own corner.
It's the best for right now. For this moment now is the best. Retire or keep fighting. He done amazing. This guy is a machine. So it's the best right now, to be honest. So he's still undefeated. Nobody.
It's one thing to get criticized by pundits. It's another when your own blood says it straight. Your best wasn't good enough. Stan Dubois, Daniel's own father, isn't spinning fairy tales. He's not hiding behind excuses or controversy. He admits what many around Dubois still can't say out loud. Usyk is just too good, and let that sink in. When your father, the one who's watched you rise through the ranks, says you weren't good enough, that hits different. That's not doubt, it's brutal honesty. The truth is, Usyk exposed every hole in Dubois' game. He broke him mentally and physically, and while Daniel clings to the idea of a trilogy, his father's words slam that door shut. There's a reason Usyk remains untouched. His fight IQ, footwork, adaptability, and timing are years ahead. Stan Dubois sees that, and he gives Usyk full credit. Not only that, this confession shows Dubois' own camp may not even believe in a trilogy. The reality is Dubois wasn't robbed. He was beaten, and even his family knows the gap isn't getting smaller anytime soon. But if all that wasn't harsh enough, Dave Allen delivers the knockout blow without even stepping in the ring.
What do you believe is necessary now for him to come back and, can be a two-time champion?
Well, that's up to him. We'll have a chat and see what he wants to do.
Do you know yet what you'd like him to do?
Dave Allen doesn't sugarcoat it. He says what most were thinking but didn't have the guts to say, Dubois quit. The body shot landed, yes, but what followed was even more telling. Dubois stood up, looked fine, and walked to the corner like nothing happened. No wobble, no signs of distress, just a man who mentally checked out. That's exactly why Allen calls it out with no hesitation. And here's the thing, when a heavyweight questions your heart in front of the world, that stain doesn't wash off easily. Even worse, Allen jokes about being chairman of the quit committee. That's not just a dig, it's humiliation. Meanwhile, Usyk didn't flinch, didn't gloat, didn't need to shout. He did what elite champions do, broke his man and walked away. Dubois demanding a trilogy now feels delusional. This isn't about a lucky shot or poor judging. It's about character. When it mattered most, Usyk dug deep and Dubois bailed out. That's why this narrative isn't shifting, no matter how loud Dubois yells.
I got up at the count of 10 and he walked straight past Usyk, straight to the corner. It was completely fine. I think, and you know what, it's horrific to say I've quit. It's not horrific to say I'm quit. I'm chairman of the quit committee. I'm top quitter, I guess. Anyway, he quit, yeah, he did.
As the noise gets louder around a potential trilogy, one thing is brutally clear: Daniel Dubois is chasing something that might already be lost forever: credibility. Usyk has already dismantled him twice, once with pure technical brilliance and once with psychological dominance. The truth is, this isn't a rivalry, it's a recurring reminder of the gap between elite and hopeful. If this trilogy ever happens, the stakes aren't just about belts, they're about legacy, survival, and redemption. If Usyk wins again, it cements his name among the greatest technician heavyweights of this era, an undefeated mastermind who exposed Dubois from every angle. But if Dubois shocks the world, it becomes one of the most improbable turnarounds in modern boxing, a man haunted by defeat rising from the ashes to dethrone a genius. The burning question is, who really wants it more? On the surface, Dubois is screaming for it, but emotionally, he's fractured. Usyk, on the other hand, is composed, unbothered, and calculating. What's more, fighters, fans, even Dubois' own camp No one seems to believe he has the formula, and that's exactly why this potential third chapter feels like a one-sided prophecy waiting to unfold again. The moment of truth is coming, and when that bell rings, there'll be no room for excuses, no controversy to hide behind. Are you backing the machine-like brilliance of Oleksandr Usyk, or do you believe Daniel Dubois has one last miracle left in him? Drop your thoughts below. This trilogy might just decide it all.